We offered a game to Esther, and she had such fun with it. She loved that feeling of ease and flow so much. We encouraged her to start through the alphabet and choose a word that begins with A that feels in the vortex to her. And so from inside the vortex, it was easy. She said appreciation. And then just held the thought long enough that she received the feeling of complete alignment with her source. And then we said, choose a B word. And she said, bask, that's easy. Clarity, that's easy. Delicious, divine, that's easy. Energy, easy, ease, all easy. Fun, full, focus. Now from inside the vortex, focus. Ooh, focus is fun. Focus feels great if you're inside the vortex. If you're not in the vortex and you think focus, now it feels like harder work. So what you do, you get in the vortex and you're pretty sure you're in there, and then play the alphabet game. In other words, it's so fun to find more in the vortex emotional words. Esther found if she would preface her search for the word with, I feel more. I feel moved. I feel magnificent. I feel joy. I feel happiness. As you want to feel and you reach for those words that you consciously acknowledge feel good to you, what happens is you're going to train yourself. You're going to train your vibration. You're going to train your point of attraction. You're going to train your point of attraction into everything that you've asked for. And then what happens is it has to start showing up. So then it gets easier and easier and easier. Because not only then are you proactive because you're deliberately going to the vortex that no one else can see, and you're deliberately reaching for a feeling that feels good only to you because you're in there all alone. In other words, you're deliberately doing it, but if you do it long enough, what begins to happen, and long enough, we only mean a day or two or 3 or 4, a week, a month. In other words, as you practice this for 15 or 20 minutes every day, you will train your vibration into a new point of attraction, and then you will begin experiencing a life that you can then react to. Wonderful life. In other words, isn't it great when there is someone lovable standing right before you who is so easy to love? But before you know about the vortex, and before you know about how you can find the feeling of love even if you are surrounded by scoundrels, before you know that, then lovable ones usually just train you to be annoyed at those who aren't lovable. You say, you could be more lovable and I would feel better. If your behavior were better, I would have a better life. And there is no premise more flawed or more disadvantaged to you than to believe that something that you have no control over has to be different before you can feel better. When you show yourself that you can feel better unconditionally, now you are one who lives unconditional love as the source within you always does. And now you can be the deliberate creator of your experience. And nothing is more fun than to be in a physical body in this leading edge time-space reality where contrast is giving you constant new bounces. So expansion is rampant, and then have the power and the wisdom to focus your energy, your thoughts, your emotions into alignment with all of that, and then to get to watch the universe knock itself out to bring you the manifestations to show you your worthiness. That's why you came. That's why you came. What do you want to talk about? Stuff. Good. So, we are eager to talk with you about anything that matters to you. We have a very full and clear and exhilarated view of your vortex. Do you understand this vibrational reality that we are demonstrating? Do you get it, that through life you have created a vibrational version of you, and that vibrational version, you can feel it? You can feel the vibrational version of you. When you're in tune with it, you feel exhilarated. When you're out of tune with it, you feel off. Bad mood means you're out of sync with it. Good mood means you're in sync with it. So you can tell by the way you feel how in alignment you are with this version of you. Have you heard enough from us? Have you heard it before today, or did you hear it today? Do you get it that you have two vibrational aspects, and that every emotion you feel is an indicator of how well those two vibrational aspects are blending or not blending? That's the key to everything about your life. It's the key to your mood from here on, and it's the key to you knowing what your guidance is showing you in terms of finding the fulfilling satisfaction that you came here to live. So we want you to understand that we have the glorious experience of getting to witness, as you sit in the room or as you sit in the chair, both vibrational aspects of you and the relationship they have to one another. And we stand unequivocally, completely inside your vortex of creation. We stand in solidarity with the wholeness of who you are. We will not come out of your vortex to commiserate with you just because you're out of your vortex. We will stand in your vortex knowing that you very much want to be in there too, and we will use every possible thing that we can find to coax you into the vortex. But the most important thing that we want you to understand is you have to make the decision that you want to be there. You have to understand that the vortex exists and that the larger part of you is there. And there's one last thing. You must pay the sacrificial price of joy. You have to care that you feel good before anything that we say or any guidance that we help to awaken within you will have any meaning for you. You are the creator of your experience, and you create with the focus that you find. So it is our desire to help you to realize that you can focus into this vortex, and you can bring a manifestational evidence of everything that you want about quickly. But you can't focus on what is and on this vortex of creation at the same time. And that's mostly what we're going to be talking about here today. How you can find the vibration of what's going on in the vortex. And the biggest thing that trips you up is that you are using your physical senses in such a magnificent way in order to define or explain, or even sometimes to explore your physical reality, that you talk in terms of what you see and what you hear and what you smell and taste and touch. It's a tactile, physical reality, this what-isness of this reality. Where this vibrational reality that we're describing, you can't see it because it hasn't manifested in that way. You can't hear it, you can't smell it or taste it or touch it, but you can know it by the feeling of it. In other words, if we can get you addicted to the feeling of well-being, then you can feel your way into the vortex. And once you feel your way in and you establish a chronic pattern of thought that allows you to linger there, then full view, full manifestation comes next. There's a little tripping point on explaining that step to you for this reason. You don't really get it, and it's all right, but you don't really get it, that this physical world that you can see and hear and smell and taste and touch is only vibrational interpretation. And most of you don't get it, that the only difference between this vibrational reality that we're describing and the reality that you are so enamored with is that the physical reality has come into fuller focus for you. If you can stay with us just for a moment and accept that it's only a vibrational adjustment between the vibrational version and the manifested version. In other words, to you, sometimes it feels like, well, this is reality. And Abraham's talking about fairy tales and Never Never Land and other worldly things and non-physical stuff. And sure, I might feel better if I focus into their fairyland, but how does reality fit with that? And we want you to understand that reality is an extension of the same thing. We're not kidding you. You can focus yourself into vibrational sync by feeling your way into the vortex. And if you will, every time you find yourself in there, milk it longer until you have made a concrete habit of sustaining the high-flying, good feeling, secure feeling, vital and alive feeling, love feeling, well-being feeling of being in the vortex. If you will make those emotions chronically your own, the manifestations will be so fast on the heels of that people who are watching you will say, what magic have you found? And your response from inside the vortex will be, it's the promise that we all held when we came forth. It's the promise that we are the creator of our own experience and that we get to live the full manifestation of it here. The reason that so many humans are sort of out of whack with that is because you've been making an art of resistance instead of an art of allowing. That's all that it is. You've practiced your resistant thoughts more than you've practiced your allowing thoughts. It's easier to be mad and be ornery and make lists of what you don't want than it is to feel good and be happy and make lists of what you do want. You've been facing the reality and you've been leaning resistant rather than leaning allowing. And that's why we're here, to remind you of who you really are and how it all works. So, you can't get it wrong. You never get it done. You will never disappoint us. We stand in the vortex where who you have really become is, and we revel in the expansion that is you, and we love nothing more than when you catch up with you, but you have no assignment to catch up with you. It's your own choice to live joyously or not. You won't make anybody mad who's in the vortex. What do you want to talk about? Some things. Be a good day, yes. We're eager to talk with you about anything that is important to you. Nothing is off limits. You've already got the sense of what we're going to be talking about. We are going to inspire you into your vortex. We just want to show you the power, just for a little while, of getting in there. The immediate relief. A woman said, Abraham, I hear you, but my body hurts me. I have arthritis. How can I feel positive emotion when I'm in physical pain? And we say, yeah, you can accept the physical pain as your current reality. And you can reach for a feeling of hope. Or you can reach for a feeling of fear. The vibrational difference between hope and fear is the difference between recovery or not, you see. So we get it that arthritis and bad breakfasts are hard to take. We get it that there's stuff happening that you don't want to have happen. But we want you to stop mining it, because the vibrational frequency of the problem and the vibrational frequency of the solution are very different frequencies. You can't get there from there. But here is something that if you can take this away with you, you can have great fun with it over the next days and weeks. The whole time that a problem is coming into focus, an equivalent solution is coming into focus too. And you have access to either eventually. The solution has come into focus, and the larger part of you is focused only on the solution. And the way you feel is your indicator of how well you're doing in your focus. So if you will decide that you want to feel good, and you will decide that you're going to look for the things that feel the best, if you'll decide that you're going to feel your way into the vortex, feel your way in, feel your way in, feel your way in, feel your way in. We've been having fun with our friends. Here are some manifestation cards. These are money and the law of attraction. They are magnificent. Brilliant, brilliant. We wrote them. Infinite intelligence approach to your financial prosperity. It doesn't get any better than this. The artist who painted them also in the vortex. Tuned in, tapped in, turned on. No more powerful information ever than on these cards.